What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. This video is coming to you from 6 o'clock in the morning. This is way earlier than anyone else should be up, but here I am, and I'm actually going to be doing some work on the 240 because I have an alignment appointment for 8 o'clock. So I've got to get one of the tie rods on this car swapped over. I already did the driver's side last night, and I wanted to see how difficult it was. If it was super crazy or whatever and I didn't have enough time, I wouldn't be recording the video. But because it wasn't that bad, because I have this awesome tool that you need, it actually is a lot easier, and I was able to get the driver's side done like that. So I'm going to replicate the exact same thing for the passenger side and show you how simple it is to remove a stupidly rusty tie rod end from your steering rack in a breeze. So that's what I'm getting into today. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so on the passenger side of the car, we have the wheel removed and the car jacked up in the air. So if we go around the side of it, we have to locate the tie rod end that we want to remove. So I've already gone ahead and removed the cotter pin that's found on the center of the castle nut right there, and it's soaking right now in penetrating fluid. So this part right here isn't going to be an issue, but the part that we're really going to be struggling with is the rusty end right here. So there's a little jam nut that attaches the tie rod end and the tie rod, the outer tie rod, all together. There's a little jam nut that secures all of that in place. So we've got to basically try to remove that, but because this car is rusty, the car is 20 years old, and I'm guessing that this is the original factory tie rod end, and I don't think it's been removed or even loosened in a while for that matter. This is probably going to be difficult. So I'm first going to show you what the driver's side parts look like so you have an idea as to what we're removing. So the tie rod end here, this piece is threaded on to our steering rack, and that is what actually gives us the movement from left to right when we turn the steering wheel. This part here attaches up to the spindle, and we just remove the castle nut and the cotter pin found on the inside part of it. And this is the little nut that I'm talking about. So this is the jam nut that tightens itself up to the tie rod end. And this is what usually gets rusted on and is really difficult to remove. So instead of cranking on this thing so much, what I'm gonna do is disconnect it from the spindle, and then we're gonna actually use an impact tool to remove this. And that's the awesome tool that I wanna show you. This here is that special tool that I'm telling you that you need. So it looks like a broken socket, but the socket is a 1/2 inch. It attaches onto your impact gun, and there's like a little slot on the side, and that is what's actually used to put in like this. So we're going to slide it onto the tie rod end with the threaded end facing up through there, and then from that point I'm going to grab a 22 mil wrench, attach it onto that jam nut back here, and then I'm going to use my impact gun to try and loosen this from here. So I'm first gonna actually put a little bit of penetrating fluid on this section right here because there is a crack between there, but because of the rust, it built up. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of PV Blaster. You don't need much, you just need a little bit to like penetrate it and soak through. Now if this doesn't wanna work, I'm gonna repeat the exact same thing, but I'm gonna incorporate a torch and I'm gonna heat up this section here. But let's get our impact gun and give this a shot. So we're gonna put that on the impact gun, grab the 22 mil, and let's see if this loosens up. So from the looks of it, it doesn't want to move too much, and that's because there's no heat in here. So I'm just gonna grab my torch, gonna put the torch on here and leave it for about 30 seconds and then try the exact same thing. I did see a little bit of a gap start between the jam nut here and the outer tie rod. So I'm just gonna keep this going. I'm gonna back off the entire thing, and we should actually be able to remove the tie rod end rather simply now that there's a little bit of heat built into this. So it's the initial part that's kind of a bitch, excuse my language, but it's pretty much true. As soon as you get it going, you're set. But the biggest part is getting it going. Heat is definitely something that's going to help you out. It's not a must, but this tool definitely is. If I didn't have this, I wouldn't have any kind of way of impacting the tie rod end out. So I'm just gonna back this off, remove it, and swap it over with our new one. Now to remove this jam nut, if it's really stuck, you can use a deep impact socket, attach it right on the end of it. This is a 22 millimeter, and I'm using a set of vice grips to hold the inner part of the tie rod in place. So this part here is not going to spin. I'm going to be able to use an impact gun to extract the jam nut, and everything should go nice and smoothly. With the old jam nut now removed, we can go ahead and reinstall all of our new components. So we've got to install our new jam nut, our new tie rod end after that, along with the castle nut and the cotter pin to attach everything back up to our spindle. Be careful when you're threading this back on because this rod should still be hot, so be careful not to burn yourself. But after that point, you're basically home free. So we have the hard part out of the way. Now all you gotta do is put everything back together. Pretty simple. With everything here pretty much now mounted up, all that we have to do next is tighten up the jam nut found back here. So it's very important to get this tightened up because if you don't, this could move around. You could have your tie rod actually spin in and out and change your alignment angles. Now it's just a matter of bringing the car down to an alignment shop and getting the tie rod ends properly aligned. So this little tool that I have right here is what helped me get all of this done. On top of that, the torch definitely helped, but if I didn't have this, I definitely would not have been able to get this done. So this tool is available in a small and a large option. This is the small one, and this is pretty much good for almost every car. If you're working on heavy duty vehicles or stuff like that, or anything that's, well, that has a tie rod end that's bigger than this, you're gonna need the larger version. I only have the small one, and this is all I need to get me by. If I get a big truck or whatever that I need to get a really rusted tie rod end off, I will obviously need to buy that tool. But in the meantime, this one will get the job done. If you guys want to pick up this tool that I have, or a torch, or whatever that I've used in this video, you guys can check the description box. I'll have links for everything. If you guys have any questions regarding the video, throw them down in the comment section below, and I'd be more than happy to help. Again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.